Good day and welcome to our preview of outside of Genie today at Scottsville, where we are racing from. Today is the 20th of September. I had a look at this car today, and when I was doing my form analysis, I just realized how difficult this car is going to be. If I were a punter today, I would have kept my money in my house, go to the spa, get some meat, buy for the family, and wait for better cards because I can tell you overall this card is a card where you can lose money today. There's absolutely there's just not one solid banker that you can bank in an exotic in this card, big fields. But anyway, I'm not complaining. My job is to do the form analysis and give you what I think, and that's what I'm going to do. For those of you watching the video the first time from outside of Genie, what we do is we do a form analysis. We give you the numbers outside the selections that we like and we think can maybe win or place. You take those selections, add them into your numbers that you like, and hopefully, if those outsiders arrive, you would collect the bigger payout. So let us start on race one here at Hollywood Scottsville. Today it's 1,000 meters on the turf. Let's have a look at the betting first. Here we have number 2 Calvino 15 to 4, 9 to 7 Song, Freedom Fire 9 to 2, Cubanelli, Cuban, Cubanelli 6 to 1, Blanchetta 6 to 1, Wunderbar 15 to 2, Count Mars 11 to 1 and 20 to 5 to 1, and longer the field. So for the benefit also of the new people, I've had some request that people want me to discuss more horses per field. Other people want me to make the video shorter. So I'm now trying to get, go, the midway. And what I'm doing, I'm touching on horses that I either think can win outright. That is, normally I give outright selection. That's the horse that I think can win the race. And then I give two outsider selections in no particular order, which I think can can win or place. So here in this race, my first selection is number 2, Calvino. This horse is nicely bred. I know this breeding. He's had 2 runs, and getting the -2.5, drawn 2, and did last time out improve behind Bold Horizon. And maybe this horse is now finding its feet. Since his last run, it has been gelded on the 4th of August, so it's now a gelding. So hopefully the gelding will improve him further. And getting the -2.5 definitely puts this horse on the path to probably win this race. Then we go down to number 3, Wunderbar. It's a VAR by Richmond Goldme. This horse did debut on the 20th of June. And then last time out, it ran behind Native Tongue. And it's easier battle to quicken, but it was there and thereabouts, only under less than 3 links, drawn free today. So I think maybe Wunderbar can keep on improving and be involved in the finish. Then my other selection is number 5, 7 Song. 7 Song did run last time out. It showed a lot of pace on the poly. Has run on the turf before, but didn't show much. But I think maybe this horse needed some time. It came back after the break. Now its 4th run after the break, and every run it has improved. So I'm looking for further improvement for 7 for Song. Definitely a contender for the placings. Then number 9, Battle of Sterling, is a scratching. There are a few first timers in this field. Look out for them. Count Mission is also a horse that can improve. Drawn 10, did debut over 1,200 meters. Was there and thereabouts, around 3rd fastest, 400 to finish. So can also be involved in the finish. Blanchetta also a horse that's always there and there about 3 lengths, 2 lengths. So also a contender for quartet positions. So that is then race number 1. Let's move on to race number 2. Where we have Dennis Dry racing Maiden Plate for his mares over 1200 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 16, My Lady, 22 to 10. Emerald Isla, 7 to 2. 11 to 2, Palma, River Dixon, 6 to 1. Tostada, 7 to 1. 20 to 1, and Better the Field. Yeah, my selection in this race is number 4, Emerald Isla, drawn 4. Did run on extremely well last time out. Got lost 2 lengths and then a late run over the 1200 meter on this course. And I think if this horse gets a better start this time, it will go close in winning this race. Number 6, Palmart, is a horse that's always there and thereabouts. He gets -2.5 today again. And both times Gumede rode it, it ran second, and I'm sure it will definitely be involved in the finish today, Palmart. Here we go down the field here to number 14, Tostada. This is a horse that is coming from Cape Town, and I've seen sometimes this Cape Town form, this horses coming from Cape Town do well in their first two or three runs in Scottsville or in Natal. Last time out ran second behind Dark Mistress. So definitely a horse that it's a 4-year-old already. Do include in all your play. Here's the favorite, My Lady, 16, My Lady. Has had a stable change recently and has got Anton Morgan and Salad draw 16. And has had some decent runs, ran against some decent horses. So last time out showed a lot of pace over the 1600 meters and the 1400. Now bringing it up to the down back to the 1200 meters. But when it ran over 1200 meters, it looked like the horse wanted more, the longer distances. So then I put it over the long distance, and then it gets run out of it. So I'm not sure if the 1200 meter is um, the right distance for this horse, but only time will tell. Hence my selection to stick with number 4, that will be running on well at the end. We go to race number 3, which is another maiden plate over 1400 meters. I think the first 5 races today are maiden plates. Here we have the 5 to 2 Admire Me, Unkumazi 4 to 1, Indigo Moon 4 to 1, Vinchuzi Magic 13 to 2, Nirvana Girl 7 to 1, 12 to 1 Late Night Live, 18 to 1 My Savings Grace, 20 to 1 and longer the rest. So let's have a look at race number 3. And race number 3, here's my preference is Umgumasi, is a Justin Snape horse. Oh, I see it's smoothly again. I think I've now selected him in 3 races. You might want to take an all to come on him or something, or maybe put him in a patent. This horse debuted on the Poly, has had 2 runs. Last time out, ran in a future on the Poly behind Winter Smoke. Please note that was a future race. And drawn well. And I do have the feeling that the 1400 will shoot this horse down to the ground. And I've got no hesitation today in recommending number 3, Ungumazi, to win this race today. I mean, he ran against much stronger than he's having here, running against here. And even on his debut, um, on the poly on the 1000 meters, it was running on second fastest to 400 meters. So this horse will be running on when the other horses are stopping. It's also an act of war. Um, they do seem to run a little bit, can run a little bit. My other selection is number 7, Nirvana Girl. Nirvana Girl ran some decent races, and then last time out just faded over the 1400 meters, but I'm sure we'll be fitter now behind Nita, and it was also bumping and eased, so that ran can be excused. But before that, did nothing wrong, and I'm sure Nirvana Girl is going to run a decent race today. Then we want to go down to number 14. Viso's Magic also run well over the 1200 meters, now going to 1400 meters, but unfortunately drawn 1400, and that makes it difficult. It is by Willow Magic, which I think is also a stallion that's going to throw future champions. In this race, there's a lot of horses with chances today. It's a very open race. Late Night Live has a chance. Also debuted well. Maybe the 1400 meter will suit, but unfortunately, draw 13. Yes, Indigo Moon, Indigo Magic, Anton Marcus on board, drawn 12. Also improved in its last race. Definitely the 1400 meter will also suit. Um, so, so as you can see, many horses with chances in this race. Yes, the favorite, Maya Mir. Lyle Lewis and Golf Puller is in devastating form. Anything he turns out wins. This horse has run it's also some decent races. Also ran in that race behind Neta. Um, also got bumped. So definitely a very favorite. But I'm sticking with number 3 in this race to win. Then we move on to race number 4. It's another maiden plate over 1600 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Chapter and verse 14 to 10, Royal Exhibit 5 to 1, Litchfield 13 to 2, 10 to 1, Luxembourg 12 to 1, Cossack Warrior 14 to 1, and better the rest. Here, let's have a look at number 5. Here's also a stable that is currently in form, and the jockey, Miller and Aries. Yeah, this horse ran in a small future on the Gravel 14 behind Gold Season, beating winners that day. Fastest 400 finished 23 to 23 seconds. Last time out was slow away, but I'm sure they're going to address that problem. And I think if this horse jumped with them, um, this horse also ran behind 4 lengths behind the breeze in on July Day in that big future. Only 4 lengths. We put no breeze in this field, he will kill him. So definitely, I think Royal Exhibit the right horse in this field. Bar that he must jump. If he's slow away, well, then obviously his chances won't be. But he has shown some promise. There is a running behind Brascallion. There's good form behind Brascallion. I think in Cape Town yesterday there was a horse that ran behind Brascallion that win. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So this horse is running 2 futures. Yeah, definitely Royal Exhibited my choice in this race. Then we have look at number 6, Lord of the Manor. Lord of the Manor, Keegan the Melo, a 4-year-old. Has run some decent races behind Donald McDonald. Donald McDonald has won again. Last time out on the 1600 week it was there, and then only faded over the last bit. From draw 6 today, can definitely be in the mix. Then we want to go down to number 14. Cossack Warrior, one big outsider. But this horse keep on running well. Look at his fastest 400 to finish, um, third fastest 400 to finish, fastest 400 to finish. This horse runs on well. Unfortunately, draw 14. But this is a nice included in for your quartet, because if this horse finish in a quartet, it's definitely going to boost the dividend. Um, I just want to find a favorite. Oh, yeah, number 4. Here's the favorite, number 4, chapter and verse. Also a horse that has shown good pace and has not done nothing wrong. Did beat my selection previous, but as I said last time, that horse was slow. If that horse is not slow, but here again, it's Moodley. So maybe, guys, that might be the jockey to follow today, because every race I look at, Moodley has got a chance. So maybe you must take some places with him, all to come places with Moodley. But yeah, chapter and verse also has got a good chance to win this race. And then let's move to race number 5, which is a maiden plate over 2,400 meters. Mike Miller Stables, and let's have a look at the betting. Here we have Yakuta's Dance 29 to 20, 6-1 Noble Flight, Do Re Mi 8-1, 9-1 Declaration of War, 10-1 Command Respect, Retrial 12-1, Imperious Duke 12-1, 14-1, and Better the Rest. So let's have a look at this race. Yeah, another open race. Really horses with weak form. Um, yeah, it can be that some of this one of those horses that's never run over this distance suddenly pop up and beat the field. It's just one of those things. Yeah, definitely a difficult race as well in my opinion. Yes, my selection is number 5, Retrial. Now, if you have a look at Retrial, I mean, this horse, I get the impression that this horse will be looking for this distance. He ran over in 1950 behind Rice. There and there, was there just less than 2 lengths. Rice has come out and won again. Then 9 lengths behind, 5 lengths behind. Then Nickel Angel at the shorter distance. Then over the 1950 again, ran on well from behind, 11 by the 4 meters. So I think this horse will be running on where the others will stopping last time out slow east. So maybe that run can be forgiven. So I do think that the 5 Retrial definitely a contender in this race. Then there's other horses that can improve. Number 10, Noble Flight. Yeah, also horses that's always there and thereabouts. Sometimes run good race, sometimes bad race, but really um, him and number 9, the favorite Jakuta's Dance, both ran behind Track Attack. Yeah, maybe Yakuta's Dance today would fancy this longer distance. Noble Flight, as I say, he's always trying. It's already a 4-year-old, 14 runs, only 4 places. Yeah, as you can see, not as inspiring field. Dore Me getting the -2.5 can improve. It's a noble tune. Mike Miller stable. He would love to win his own race. So definitely a open race that you need to include maybe more than 2 or 3 horses. Unfortunately, I could only go 3 horses in my pick 6. So now we get into the handicaps. Race 6, 1200 meters, Class B, average merit rating 87. Let's have a look at the betting. Here, number 4, Pearl of Asia, 7-2, 11-2, Traveling Light, Good Rhythm, 6-1, 7, King's Mead, 7-1, Trip to Africa, 8-1, Master of Illusion, 8-1, Jojonia Rose, 8-1, 12-1, Sinfonico, and 14-1, and Better the Rest. Well, one of the horses that I want to look at is number number 11. Okay, here we go. Now, as I said in this race, the average merit rating is 87. Now, Jojona Rose is getting 58 minus the 2.5, so it's getting 56. Drawn 11, which is not a disadvantage. And this horse has run in much better handicaps, B divisions, C divisions, B divisions, A divisions. I mean, if you have a look at this, I mean, 92 last and the 92 last time out, now running in a 87. There at 83, 97 behind Mississippi Burning. Um, Padre Pio, I mean, that horse found himself in the July 87, running on 87, beating Petra. You know, I just think this horse has got a form really to win this race. It's got the distance 4 runs, 3 wins in a second. Course and distance 2 runs, 1 win, 1 second. Course 3 runs, 1 win, 1 second. Getting a -2. This horse loves this distance. It loves this course. It has run in Class B. It's been winning place in Class B. So all in all, to me, this point in the right direction for this horse. And this horse is currently 8-1. So definitely, I think a huge contender in this race. Other horses that I would like to look at is number 2, Sinfonico. This horse also lost this course, has had 2 runs on it and 1 win and a second. Um, he did win here on Scottsville. it doesn't show in the form, but has a run here last time out, running in 87 behind Ispahan, a 97 behind Bawana, Big Blue Marble 80, then a 90, then again in an 80. Yeah, this horse nearly ran behind Basadi Faith. Also, I think a horse with a huge chance today in this field not to be left out. Then the other horse I want to look at is number 6. Um, Kingsmead. Now, this horse is getting -4. And this is one thing from Michael Roberts. He always gives these new jockeys a chance. I remember there was a jockey a while ago, I can't remember his name now. He had his very first run for Mr. Roberts, and he actually won on that horse. I can't remember the name now of that jockey. He won his very first ride for Michael Roberts. Now, this jockey has had a few chances, and I think here on Winter Chill today, he can be a big danger to the other horses. This horse also has run against the best in the country, Shantyman, Cavalry, Shantyman, now finding himself a little bit down in class in the C division. Last time out in the C division, he was 81. Today it's 87, but still with the -4 on the horse already carrying 52, only carrying 48. I think this horse is going to run a very big race today. Definitely include into all your bets. Then we must go down to race number 7. Then we have a 1,000 meters, class C, main race at 78. Let's have a look at the betting. Number 1, Sophia Erin 2-1, Bella Barina 72, Burgundy Rose 2-1, 92. Lava Lou 5-1, Coyote Girl 6-1, Magical Leaf 13-2, 16-1, and Back to the Field. Well, here we have maybe the horse, and I think today, if you're looking for a banker, that could be perhaps number 1, Sophia Earn. That ran second to Burgundy Rose last time on the Scottsville 1,000 meters, but on the weight turnarounds, there's no way that Burgundy Rose can beat Sophia Earn. I think I did a calculation. It's about 6 kilogram in favor of number 1, because they was carrying 54 and a half minus 2.5. For the apprentice today, there's no apprentice, and you can see the difference in weight. It was carrying 58. That one was carrying 54, 54, 52, 51 and a half, nearly 7 kilograms. Now today it's only 3.5 kilograms, and I do think that number 1, Sophia Erin, today might be the best bet on the card, um, taking in account, because Burgundy Rose did beat some of these horses in this field, but with the weight turnaround, it is they all, Burgundy Rose uh, is in the disadvantage in terms of weight. Now, here you have number 4, Magically. Magically improved and then won 2 quick races, beating Lava Lou. Lava Lou won again, then ran behind Burgundy Rose and then won Fort Worth, but was comprehensively beaten by, in a maiden over this course and distance by Sophia Erin in the past. So I cannot see it reversing 11 lengths of Sophia Erin. So definitely Sophia Erin, in my mind, a horse that you can maybe actually look to banker in your pick 6 today, because that's the only banker that I could find today. So then let's move on to race number 8, which is the last race, 1,400 meters, Class E, average merit rating 64. Race 8, number 3, Leslie Carolina, 3-1, Roy's Magic 92, Rocky Coast 8-1, Juniper Line 10-1, Silver Sen 12-1, Fever 12-1, O'Hare 14-1, Deposition 16-1, Stand By Me 16-1, Presumptions 18-1, 20-1, Bid Elmer Luck, and 25-1, and longer the rest. So let's have a look here at my selection. My selection is number 4, Bid Elmer Luck. This was, I think This horse had shown so much promise in earlier, but hasn't perhaps run on to what the earlier promise. But the thing about this horse absolutely loves this course and distance. 4 runs, 1 win, a second, and a third. Um, so I do think that, and also over the distance itself, 2 wins, it's 5, 6, 7 out of 10, either win or place. It is drawn for, it's well drawn. The thing is, sometimes it jumps slow, and I think that is always a disadvantage. So if they can get this horse to jump today, I think this horse will be a huge runner at 20-1. It's definitely a contender in this field. Then let's have a look at number one. Now, number one is already an 8-year-old, but I see these days the horses run 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds. They still run well. Yesterday again at Turpentine, a 10-year-old ran fourth. So maybe we so used to seeing retiring our horses early, but I see overseas sometimes a horse still 9, 10-year-olds still running. So maybe we should extend our horses' running career because with the merit rating, it doesn't matter. It goes about the ability and the merit rating. But anyway, Silver Cent also horse, course and distance, 3 runs, 2 wins. Definitely also like this course and distance. Drawn one today. Yeah, definitely a horse that you need to include into your play. Then we want to move down to number 15. Now here I'm giving you a huge outsider. You need to put this in your quartets straight up. Um, did you know that it's a strange thing, but sometimes horses will win a race and never win another race. And then a year later, it will win again. Now, straight up today is one of those horses. If it wasn't for drawn 15, I would have selected this for my as an outright winner. This horse won last year on this course over the 1600 meters. It won its maiden plate on the 22nd of September. So now it's 364 days later, and it has had a few runs, never showed anything. And last time, over 1200 meters, handy weekend, they tried it over 1800, now back to 1400 meters. But I'm recommending put straight up in your quartets today because this is a type of horse that can upset. And I promise you, if this horse do run well and into the quartets today, you'll be standing in a payout queue laughing, collecting your money, and thanking outside the Genie. So all in all, that is our preview for today. I hope I can point you in the right direction to make money. And as I always say, break a leg.